The best business is the business of your mind. Now, I got a few points I want to knock off real quick, guys. I'm not going to hold you too long. I just want to make sure you understand, like, how you move in life is all about the mindset. All right, so we're going to get right to it. I got my notes here. I'm going to roll down a few things and I'm going to read them off for you, okay? All right, your mindset drives your habits. If you believe your health matters, you'll consistently show up for workouts, nutrition, and recovery. So what that means is if you're over 40 or 50 and you have the right mindset, you're going to be consistent. You're going to constantly always show up. So when that comes to, let's say for nutrition, which I know for people, especially who are over 40 and 50, that's probably one of the biggest things that we struggle with when it comes to trying to get our nutrition right. Because, I mean, there's a lot of videos out here saying, don't eat this, don't eat that, don't do this, don't do that. This vegetable only does this, this fruit only does that. And I know it can be a bit confusing. My thing is simple exercises and simple nutritional habits, right? It comes from your mindset. So at the end of the day, if you study and you do the proper research, you can compile all the information that you need so you can know what each fruit and vegetable does for your body. So for instance, we know bananas, right? Banana is a great fruit, right? It usually makes like your smoothie sweet. It's a good thing to make for like your smoothies or like some juice or eat with your first meal of the day, things of that nature. But we also know, right? A lot of people know bananas has a lot of potassium, but bananas also have other factors in it, that helps with your nutrition. So I'm not going to go over those things with you. I'm just giving you an example that banana doesn't hold just one factor. It does have its strong points and it does have its weak points. So when it comes to fruits and vegetables, they all have their strong points and they have not so strong points, but it's all mixed together. So it really doesn't matter. It really depends on like your taste, maybe, or maybe your body just doesn't like digest it very well. So when it comes to nutrition, having a good mindset is studying and then researching, understand what fits your body and what doesn't. Okay. I can't give you a recipe and it tastes good to me, but it's a good chance it's not going to taste good to you. All right. So when it comes to fitness, it's the same thing. Showing up. Well, we all know. We heard the saying, 21 days helps keep what? Keeps you consistent. It builds habit. So you can use that. Or once again, if you study and you know which exercises that you need to do to help strengthen certain parts of your body, I would suggest strengthen your entire body. But I would start with legs first, and then I would go with the midsection, and then I would go with the upper body last. Why? Because the legs are the most used part in your body. All right. So if you study to show thyself approved and you understand how your leg works in terms of the muscles. I'm not saying you got to go and get this certification. There's plenty of information out here on the internet and on ChatGPT, on AI, or, if you're using any kind of platform for that. There's plenty of information out here to know what kind of leg exercises you can do. Be careful about watching those videos on legs, especially ladies. Be careful, especially if you're over 40 or 50. Be careful about watching the leg workouts from a lot of the ladies that are out there. They're fit. They've been doing this for probably a lot longer. So I don't want you to just walk into a gym, or if you have equipment at your house and you just start copying what they're doing and you don't know what they did to get there. Right? Do the research. You can get there, but you do the research and start. And that comes once again from the mindset. You kind of get what I'm saying with that. When it comes to your core, that would be probably second, right? There's all kind of simple things you could do with your core. You can start from the wall. You can start on the floor doing the plank. I mean, there's all kind of stuff, guys. So trust me, there's a lot of information. Then the upper body, well, it may require maybe some weights, right? Dumbbells are always good. I don't particularly care for weights. I would use bands. And my thing is the reason why I like bands because it gives you resistance when you're coming up doing a curl, let's just say for your bicep, and it gives you resistance coming down, right? So you're killing two birds at one time with that, right? So that's just a little bit of information when it comes to that. All right, on to the next one. Here we have discipline starts in the mind before it shows up in the body. Mastering your thoughts helps you stay committed even when motivation fades. All right, good. I love this because until you start manifesting, I would like to say a lot of people use the manifestation or you get up in the morning and you speak positivity into your mind, into your thoughts, your inner thoughts, whatever it is you're thinking, right? Usually you're going to actually have a great day. And usually you're going to set out to do the things that you're going to do for that day. So when it comes to health and fitness, and if you're over 40 and over 50, you got to start getting that mindset together a little bit more. I know it's a lot of distractions out here in this society and in this world, but you have to now hunker down. You're getting a little older, you're getting more wiser, and a lot more things are making more sense, right? So you have to kind of recalibrate and restructure your mindset. So if you are disciplined in that, what's going to happen is, as it says here, it starts in the mind before it shows up in the body. You got to get your mind in shape. So that means you have to be positive, read positivity, look at positive things. If it's movies, or sometimes traveling and going to places that makes you want to think and be more clear. Sometimes going for a simple walk, for about 10, 20 minutes or 30 minutes, just to kind of clear your mind, because I know, I mean, living in New York City, trust me, guys, it's a battleground. They don't call it the concrete jungle for nothing. Very few parks, if there are parks, and if you're living in a decent area, you might have to drive to go there, so you're going to sit in your house because you're probably not going to walk around too much, even though we do walk everywhere. But it's usually walking with all the kind of stuff in our minds. But just going a leisure walk, you know, does help clear your mind. And it also gets your thoughts completed, okay, on what you want to do and what you need to do. So start training and working out your mind. Okay, guys. All right, moving on to the next one. Oh, sorry. I'm going to talk about from a fitness point too, right? Because it's not just your body, your mind. It's not just your health. It's just also your fitness as well. So when it comes to fitness, right, having the right mindset. So, okay, I'm going to give an example. When you're fit, or when you're getting fit, right, you might do. I have a friend of mine who's doing one of my programs right now, and he just got started like last week, and his first day, you know what he said? Because there was push-ups in that first day of that workout. There was push-ups involved in it, and he said, "Mike, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do a push-up. I only did like one." Now, mind you, this client of mine is over 40, okay, like mid 40s, and couldn't barely do a push-up. But once again, he got his mind right and he started to speak more like, man, I'm going to do more. The next time I come up on that, I'm going to do more push-ups. I'm going to hit at least 5. Because see, in the beginning, he just went and just did the push-up or tried to do one, right? And it didn't kind of work out. So what I'm trying to say is, guys, the next week, this past beginning of this week, he did 5 push-ups. Why? Because last week he said, yo, I'm gonna knock out at least 5, man. I'm gonna do way more. Hear the words, I'm going to do way more. I will do this. I will do that. I'm going to do this. That's how you train your mind, even for fitness. So if you're on a timer in one of my workouts, or if you got certain amount of reps to do, count, right? If I'm putting you at 10 reps, right, and you can only do 5, then your goal is to get to 10. So I will do 10 push-ups. I will do 10 squats. I will do 10 lunges. You see? So training your mind will help you what? Train the body as well. So it's the mind first, guys. It's never getting out there and just doing things. So enough on that topic. I can go a whole day with that. The next one. Here we go. Mental resilience builds physical strength. Pushing through discomfort, setbacks, and plateaus. Start with training your mind first. Okay, once again, mental resilience. So once again, there are going to be days where you don't feel like eating right. Okay, from a health standpoint. There are going to be days you don't feel like eating right. Trust me, guys, they call it cheat days, right? But there'll be days where you don't feel like eating, and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to do that, because at the end of the day, if you're 80% eating well and 20%, just goofing off, and, you're eating whatever you want, that's fine. It's just when you're 80% not eating well and 20%, that's where see what I'm saying? So that mental resilience is, it's okay to have a break from what it is until you start getting used to it. But also, there are going to be days where it's going to be super, super rough. And I'm telling you now, That's where you got to push through. Nobody can save you from that. I'm sorry. Nobody can really save you from that. So at the end of the day, when you are going through things and you need to like have that break, take the break. Don't burn out. But also make sure that when it gets rough and there's nothing else that you can do, just push through. Trust me, you'll make it. Sorry about that noise. If you hear that noise in the background, that typical New York City. But so I hope you heard that. Anyway, so when it comes to fitness, fitness is huge, okay? Because that's, once again, mental resilience. You know, when you can't get past that 15 to maybe 20 push-ups, right? And you train your mind and you got to be patient, but stick with it. Don't just I say do 20 push-ups and say, ah man, you know, that's all I can do, and you stop. No, do the 20 push-ups that was set out and then go for an extra 5. You know, because you're like, oh no, I'm not really with the 5s and I can't really make it there just yet and stuff. Listen, push, do 21. And then the next day, 222. Then the next day, 223, right? Before you get there. That's mental resilience. When things are tough, and let's just say you're supposed to do 20, you've been doing it all this time, and you're supposed to do 20. And that day, you just didn't feel like working out, and you didn't feel like doing anything. You're just trying to go through the motions. That's mental resilience, pushing through. Okay, so I don't want to take too long. This is the last one, guys, and I hope you guys really enjoy this. You know, when you get a chance, just leave a comment down below if you're getting, you know, if this is bringing value to you. Investing in your mental business creates long-term results. When your mindset is strong, health and fitness become a lifestyle, not a short-term goal. A lot of people these days like set goals like, okay, I weigh 200 pounds and I want to get down to 150. And then when you get to 150, you stop. No, it's a lifestyle. This is not a short thing. This is not, that's why I have a problem with setting goals when it comes to fitness. All right, I'm gonna speak on fitness this one because this is very important. When you're trying to get your body right and you're getting fit, what tends to happen is with people is you set a goal, and once you get there, you stop. No, it's a lifestyle. This is what you're gonna do for the rest of your life. So if you're over 40 or 50, your mindset has to change. The things that you wasn't doing fitness wise now becomes a lifestyle change. Same thing with health and what you put in your system. The things that you used to eat and it didn't bother you, that you eat today is going to bother you. Case in point, if you was 15 and you can go get some fast food, it's not going to bother you. But if you're 45, right, what do you think is going to happen? So at the end of the day, guys, investing in your mental business, which means that everything that you are saying and being positive about and building up and getting yourself ready to go and tackle that nutritional day or that fitness day, right? It leaves long-term results. When you're just saying, okay, I want to lose 10 pounds in 1 month and that's it, it creates short-term stuff, man. And you're never going to get back there. So whatever it is that you practice, you must continue to do it. It's your lifestyle, especially if it works. So investing in your mental business, it creates long-term results. You know, so that's what's going to strengthen your mindset. That's what's going to make your life, your let's say your lifestyle, or let's say your health and your fitness become more of a lifestyle that becomes more a part of you and how you live. All right, guys, that's it. I think I've spoken long enough. I know this video is probably a little longer than I thought. But if, once again, you found value in this video, just leave a comment below. Let me know if you have any questions or you have any comments that you want me to answer, you know, for my next video, feel free. I am also a fitness coach. I design and create, you know, for fitness beginners who are over 40 or 50, programs for them so they can get a nice fresh start and a good low impact start so they can start their journey, you know. So I'll leave that description also. I'll leave that in the description also. All right, guys, I guess I'll see you guys on the next video. Later.